Hi, my name's Kevin Zeese, and I'm with Dr. Margaret Flowers. We're outside the State House in Annapolis and across the street from the governor's mansion. Larry Hogan lives there, the governor. And we came here today to meet with the governor's staff, with our colleagues from We Are Cove Point. We're trying to fight the gas refinery export terminal that's happening in Cove Point. And what we're asking for from the governor is something that only he can give us, and something we've been asking for the full time he's been in office. And it's very simple. We want a safety study so people know what the environmental and health risks are from this facility. Now, this facility is, in my view, an unnecessary facility. It's an export terminal to send fracked gas out of the country to Asia. The price in Asia has gone down. The price in the United States of gas has gone down. If they're successful, they hope they can raise the price in the United States to further rip off consumers here. But they want to spread gas around the world. And our view is that isn't needed, and it's counterproductive. And the safety study is so basic. How can anyone think that people who are living across the street from this immense facility shouldn't be told what the health risks are? The health risks on a daily basis from the toxic pollution, the health risk from the toxic water going into the Chesapeake Bay, and the health risk of a potential explosion in this plant. So this has been a real example of the failure of government in Annapolis by both parties. Larry Hogan has been governor now almost for a full term. He's going into an election next year, and throughout his time period, the people have been asking, what are the risks to us? What are we facing? And instead of getting a response, we get, nice smiles from Governor Hogan, we get, handshakes, and then we get nothing as far as actually looking at the problem. And unfortunately, Governor O'Malley before him was no better. In fact, he's known as the sleeper in Cove Point, because when he was holding hearings on whether to give a permit to this facility, when the people of Cove Point came up prepared to tell them what their concerns were, what did he do? He fell asleep at the hearing. Now, Hogan's been asleep in other ways. He's listening to us and doing nothing. O'Malley was really asleep. So that's the choice we have with these two political parties in Annapolis, and they're not serving us.
And I think it was Senator Mike Miller, the president of the Senate, who, when he came to one of the events at Cove Point, instead of listening to people, was watching a basketball game or something on his phone. That shows how much they take into consideration the voices of the people of Cove Point. This is egregious. I think this is unconscionable what's happening here, and more attention needs to be brought to this, because this is the first time in the history of the world that a fracked gas, a gas refinery, and export terminal have been literally put in a residential community. And you heard Kevin say that, no matter what, every day it's going to be spewing toxins, cancer-causing and other disease-causing chemicals into the air. Domonion Resources, that is building it, actually was allowed to buy emissions credits so that they could put, wind terminals, windmills somewhere else in Maryland, allowing them to pollute the neighborhood, the community of Cove Point. This is really unconscionable. And then the fact that we know that these facilities can and do explode, and that that there's no buffer zone. There should be at minimum a 2-mile buffer zone, but really more like 5 to 10 miles to protect the community, because the concussive forces can travel 5 or so miles. The shrapnel that would come from an explosion can travel for miles. There needs to be a buffer zone. These families are literally being put in harm's way so that fracking can happen in other states. The gas can get transported through communities in Maryland, putting those communities at risk, and then get sent out of the country. So time is really of the essence, because they're hoping to finish the construction by this fall and get this terminal up and running. And so we are saying, do a safety study, stop construction until we know the dangers. We're not convinced that this facility should be put in the community of Cove Point, and so we really need your help, because what we're getting from all of the politicians that we meet with is no action. Either they say, I can't do anything, or they just ignore us. Governor Hogan can do something. He is the one person, and the state of Maryland that can do something. He could pick up the phone today and order that safety study. He could pick up the phone and order that construction to be stopped until we have it. And so we need nothing less than this, and we need your voices to help us to be heard so that we can protect the community of Cove Point, protect the state of Maryland, protect the communities that are going to be devastated by fracked gas. So please go to wearecovepoint.org, sign that petition, send a letter to the editor, call the governor's office, do whatever you can do to help us bring attention to this issue and let Governor Hogan know that he is on notice. He has been notified by people over and over again of the hazards that are that could happen here. Just like the people in London who lived in Grenfell Tower let the officials in London know that they were living in a safety hazard and nothing was done. And now the death toll there is climbing into 60, 70 people. They're continuing to find bodies of people who died in this horrific fire. We don't want that same scenario happening here in Maryland. We don't want to have a fire or explosion and know that young children and grandparents and families were killed because the governor refused to pick up the phone and order that safety study. So please join us at wearecovepoint.org.
Let me add a couple more points. We do applaud Governor Hogan for stopping fracking, for banning fracking in Maryland, and he did that because of public pressure. The majority of Marylanders, 2/3 of Marylanders, support a ban on fracking. We urge those people who put pressure on Governor Hogan to ban fracking to do the same with this. Put pressure on Governor Hogan to do what he's supposed to do, protect the people of Maryland, protect the environment of Maryland. A very simple step: approve a safety study, a risk assessment, so we know what the risks are to the community, to the people, to the environment, to the Chesapeake. We can find that out and be much better off. Let me put this in a little more context. 3 miles north of this facility is the nuclear power plant. The force from an explosion at that plant does not just go south, it goes north too. What will be the impact on the nuclear power plant? We don't know. We don't know because Governor Hogan has refused to sign off on a safety study. Governor Hogan could find that out for us if he took action today, picked up the phone and ordered it. We urge you to pick up the phone and tell Governor Hogan to do so. Let me put it in further context. When Domonion applied for this facility, they lied to regulators. They said there was a population to the north, 15 miles north, the population to the south, 5 or so miles south. They didn't mention the population across the street. Thousands of people. They left those tens of thousands of people off of the application. They lied to get this permit. Even when that was pointed out, they were not stopped. Regulators are not helping the people. They're helping Domonion, the major corporation, the out-of-state corporation from Virginia that's pushing this terminal. So we see a situation where people's lives are at risk, to cancer, to leukemia, to shorten lives from the poisons. We see a situation where the lives of the people at risk from an explosion. The governor has been told about this over and over and over. Who's going to be responsible when those things occur? We know they're going to occur. We know, for example, the toxic poisons are coming out. Domonion admits that. They've even asked for a waiver to emit more poisons. So they know they're going to be poisoning the community. That's not even debatable. So what's the risk of that? Governor Hogan, are you doing your job? Are you awake? Are you sleeping like O'Malley was? It's time to wake up and take care of the people of Maryland, not putting the corporate profits of an out-of-state corporation ahead of the health and safety and environment of Maryland. So we're urging Governor Hogan to take action now. And whether this plant is built or not, it should not be allowed to run without a safety study. Whether this plant is finished in the fall or not, we oppose any operation of this plant until a safety study is done. This is too serious a risk. This unique facility, nothing like it in the world. Every other facility like this has a multi-mile barrier. People suggest up to a 10-mile barrier from these kind of facilities and the population. Here they are across the street. This is an irresponsible act. Governor Hogan is not living up to his responsibilities as governor. He's failing to protect the people and the environment of Maryland. He's putting out-of-state corporations' profits ahead of the people and the environment. That has got to end. We want a safety study now and no facility operating until a safety study is done.
So one easy thing that you can do is please share this video out, share it to your Facebook page, share it to any groups that you're part of. Please spread the word, help us raise the voices, our voices up to pressure the governor to do the right thing and protect all of us. Thanks very much.
Please visit wearecovepoint.org and get active. Thank you for watching.